couple of weeks ago, I reviewed or unboxed and reviewed this guitar, the Glarry Burning Fire. However, I made a glaring mistake with this Glarry, which I'm going to put right now, coming right up. I am so sorry. When I unboxed this, I thought, first of all, it wasn't really a guitar that I'd have bought myself, but Glarry asked me to review it, which I'm more than happy to do. And I just found it really strange. And I did say on the review that it was weird that this only had 1, 2, 3 pickup settings. So I'm guessing this is a 5-way. That's weird. That's not a 5-way, that's a 3-way selector switch for 3 pickups. So that is very strange. And then just the other day, in fact 2 days ago I think it was, I got this comment. Scott Ross writes,
"Mine has a 5-way blade switch, but you have to pull the little rubber knob out a little to reach the full neck and full bridge pickup positions. That's probably why you don't like the bridge pickup, because you're actually on the bridge center selection. I don't know why mine would be different than yours, but maybe it is. Check it out."
So thank you so much for posting that comment. So what this turned out to be is that the selector knob, which sits really tight against the body, actually was pushed in too far and would only allow the middle 3 pickup selections, which would be both combined humbuckers with the middle pickup. So it would have been bridge and middle and neck and middle. And so we never actually got to try out the bridge pickup on its own or the neck pickup on its own. And all I needed to do was pull this out a little bit further, and then lo and behold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way selector, which I thought was probably the case. I thought it was amazing that this was a 3 pickup guitar with only 3 pickup positions. You'll remember if you saw the video. So it turns out that there are actually 5, as I'd expected there to be. And in fact, as the specification I'm pretty sure says, however, Glarry didn't point it out to me, and they watched the review and were very happy with it. And I was really quite scathing about this bridge pickup, having not enough power for a rock and metal beast like this. Well, absolutely, it didn't have, because what I was on is actually position 2, which was a mix of the middle and the bridge pickup, which is that classic-y nasal type Strat sound. So we've got to put this right. I had to let you know because I didn't want to do this guitar an injustice. And in fact, I've got some more news on this guitar since doing it. What I've done to make up for my error, obviously I now know that there are positions 5 and 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a demo of just the humbucking pickups of this guitar. I'll also link in the description to the original unboxing video so that you can go and have a look at that. And I take back everything I said about this bridge pickup, because actually it's a snarling beast when it's on its own in a humbucking mode. to make up for what I did and the huge mistake I made, number one, thank you so much to my friend that let me know, and B, I've done a full setup on this guitar and I've got the trem floating. So the trem now works. And one thing I have to say, let me just tighten that up a bit more, is that it holds its tune really, really well when it's got the tremolo working. So that's floating. Obviously I've taken the back off and I've worked out what it was that I've been doing with this cross spring. Where you've got higher tension on the top strings and where the whammy bar is connected, it means that the trem bar actually moves asynchronous, so it doesn't move parallel. It actually moves slightly more one side to the other. So that's why I've found out long time ago I was doing the same thing, and actually when I started setting up this guitar, it was the only fix I could do to get this trem to move evenly across the board. Obviously it's important that you get the end two screws to the exact same depth in order to do that, but I have set this guitar up, I've lowered the action so that it's just about 1 millimeter, and I've also worked on the intonation, and everything now on this guitar plays absolutely beautifully, and there's no fret buzz anywhere on any of the strings, and the thing actually sings out. It's really good. The only update that I do have is that I would say that the tuners are not particularly fantastic. They do hold tune, but getting them in tune, there's just a little bit too much play in some of them sometimes. So that's my only negative. I take back the negative about this pickup. And actually one of the things I really like about this, when it sits in the guitar stand, it sits a lot lower and it's a lot smaller, but I've checked the scale length and it is a full size scale length. So by having the bridge right the way back here on the body and the neck fairly nicely set in, it means that this is a very small guitar, so it could be used as a travel guitar. It's also, by the same virtue, incredibly light. So lots and lots more positives on this Glarry than I initially thought, and I really did not do it justice, and especially when it came to the sound tests. I think you'll agree that the humbucking bridge pickup actually sounds really snarly and really tough and strong, and in fact I've had to back it away from the strings in order for it to get a nicer clean sound, and the same with the bridge, so the output on these is pretty good. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I apologise. And as always, if I get something wrong, I will always come back and let you know. And I got it wrong big time on this guitar. It does indeed have a 5-way selector. So you've got bridge humbucker, bridge and middle, middle on its own, middle and neck humbucker on its own as well. So a very much more versatile guitar than I gave it credit for. And it still has my favourite headstock of the entire Glarry range. I'll be back really soon with more. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, my very good friends, take good care.